What's up, everyone? Welcome into the niche. I'm calling niche here. We're looking at some fitness motivation updates, highlights, and some sports news and picks for tonight. And for this weekend, we're going to talk about yesterday. Oh, it wasn't good. It was almost good after it wasn't good, and then it really wasn't good. We'll get to that in a second. First, let's look at workout stuff. Hope you guys are getting in the gym or hitting your movements, do whatever you need to do to feel good and move well. I hit a deadlift, bench press, overhead squat workout this morning, which is way too much work for one day, but it works really well for my structure that I'm currently in, and so we got it planned up and knocked out. Doesn't make any sense. Why do I say something stupid like that every day in these videos? Here's my deadlifts. If anything, I'm really happy with how this weight's moving. This is 225 pounds. I'm looking at 3 sets of 10. Deadlifts have always been a weak point for me lifting wise. I don't know if that's old lower back injury induced or as a result of an old lower back injury, or if my form maybe just hasn't always been that great, or my focus on certain muscles in it. I don't know, but nonetheless, I'm feeling really good in the deadlift right now, focusing a lot on core stability, thinking really tight core and really strong back, trying to utilize those bigger muscles as best as I can, focus on them so that the erectors, my like spine area, doesn't get really worn out and tired, and my lower back doesn't just get really sore. That's kind of what used to happen a lot in the past. So you can see the bar here; it's moving pretty well, and I am pretty happy with how that felt this morning. I'm crazy sore. One thing that I've noticed is my left lat, probably still lingering soreness from pull-ups the other day, but I was really locking that in, and you'll see it here in the bench press too, really locking in the lats, and it's just really sore after the fact today. So happy with that. Thought it felt good, moved well. Um, Onto some bench press, and I apologize a little bit here for the blurry videos. I don't know why my system here can't clean them up quicker, but hopefully you get the point. Bench press, 185 pounds, 3 sets of 10. Similar to the deadlift, really happy with how the bar is moving here. I like the pace of it. I like how it's looking. I will say it was tougher than I wanted it to be. My hands felt weak after the deadlifts, and just didn't move quite as quickly as I had hoped. It was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. But you can see here the bar's getting up and down. Chest feels good. Shoulders feel good. Grip felt okay, like I said, and was able to rep those out. So good bench press, good deadlift. And then we had some overhead squats. And one thing I noticed in my overhead squats that caused me to pause a little bit, as you can see, it's called a butt wink. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but right here at the bottom, there's a little wink. And I've not really researched it before, but I've heard that's not something you want to have happen. So I did some quick Googling just to see what that was all about. And I thought like, oh, maybe I was just moving too quickly and lost focus. So I did another set here and really focused in on control, slowing it down. I wanted to lock that bar back over my shoulders a little bit deeper so I could tighten up that core and stay a little bit straighter up and down. Is what that looks like. I think it helped. I think it definitely looks a little bit better. You can still see kind of winks at the bottom. And what I found is quick read is that that's actually not too bad of a thing. That's fairly normal as far as movement pattern goes at the bottom of that squat. There's almost, you can see it right there, no more room for my ankles to flex, my knee out over my foot. And so that's the only part of your body then that can give to get you down a little bit lower into it. And as long as that's the only place that it's happening is right down there deep in the bottom of that squat, it's not something to really worry about too much. There's no pain in the movement. I'm strong in the movement. There's no hitch or anything like that. It's not like it happens immediately under the. I think if you were winking right at the top of your squat and your hips were sucking in, that's really what you want to watch out for. So, nonetheless, these felt good. 65 pounds, not a lot of weight, but wanted to practice that movement for the shoulder mobility and just still being able to do it. Eventually, I'll get into some, when I'm a little bit more confident, some heavier movement, some snatch movements and the like. But this is kind of where I'm at in my progression right now, and I don't want to push that too hard, too fast. But there you go. Workouts for the day. Feeling good. Gonna probably rest for a number of days because immediately I'm just beat up after that one this morning. So give the body some time to recover, focus on some nutrition and hydration, and keep going from there. Sports news today. There's not much to say. The combine's going on. Fast dudes are running fast, and big dudes are pushing lots of weight. And I don't know. Not too interested. There's a couple draft prospects that down the line I'll maybe get a little interested in. I saw an article that maybe the Chiefs were targeting a specific wide receiver that was going to go a little bit lower in the draft. Something like that is going to be fun to watch, but there's not much going on right now in my perception of the sports world. Here's what's really going on. Man, I, for some reason, was so confident that the Shockers were playing at home last night against Houston. Maybe that's because I don't remember the game at home, or I just got confused. Whatever it is, I thought the Shockers were being disrespected at plus 16.5 at home, but they were on the road at Houston for senior night. So I was bummed, and I knew I was going to be wrong. And then you get into the game, and you see the Shockers play with some passion and some conviction until literally the last 3 minutes of the game. Not only does Houston dial it in a little bit, but then, like, you know, the 3-minute mark, Houston dialed it in, Shockers give up, and then, wouldn't you believe it, lose by 17 points. If you hadn't watched a lot of sports in your life and you just got into sports because of the betting and you saw things like this happen consistently, because let me tell you, they happen so consistently that these people in Vegas or wherever they're living, or the machines that they've built, picks Wichita State to lose by more than 16.5 points, and they lose by 17 exactly. Oh, it drives me crazy. And I know that's just how it goes. They're good at what they do, and that's how they make their money. That's off of me. But man, that kills me that I lost by half a point right there, and it seems to happen so consistently. So I was wrong in the setup of the game. For a moment, I thought I had a chance. I still didn't have a chance. Houston wins by 17. We miss that pick. And I'll do it here in front of your face because I forgot to do it before I started. Our record is 20-26. That'll go up this weekend. I'm not able to include every game for the weekend that I'm picking for the weekend. Part of that is because I don't actually have a good system for figuring out which games are at what odds going into the weekend. I can only ever seem to, on my app, find the games that are active and happening this evening. So if you've got a good method for that, please let me know below. Shoot me a message and tell me how you do it. Because on a little bit of searching right away, not too much time searching, just a little bit, haven't really been able to figure out a good system for that. Nonetheless, the games I have seen and the lines that I have seen, I like these three. These are Saturday games. There's nothing really tonight that I'm too interested in, but some Saturday games that I'm feeling decent about, except for that Villanova game. But we'll get to that in a second. I like A&M. I've seen them play with some passion. I know they lost recently to Mississippi State, but I think they play really well at home. They've played really well in their conference. Alabama's still ranked 2, even though they've had some losses, it seems like, recently. Punching my desk about it. I think A&M takes the game. It'll be tight. It should be a great game based on what I've seen out of A&M and how good everybody says Alabama is. I haven't seen a lot of Alabama. That's why I say it that way. I think A&M should play a good ball game there and be in the running. Kansas, I really believe Kansas actually has it figured out right now. They are such a surprise to me because I don't think like you look at those guys in their sweatsuits warming up and you think that they look like a team who's potentially going to win it all again this year. But man, when they play, they seem to smother teams on defense. They hit really great shots and run a really great offense. And they just always seem to put other teams in a corner somehow. So I like Kansas at Texas. Texas seems to have lost some steam too. And I think Kansas is really well coached. I think Bill's great, and they're warming up for the tournaments here. Which, speaking of, man, Big 12 tournament next week. Whew, is that not just going to be one of the most intense, fun-to-watch tournaments maybe of all time? You watch what the Big 12 has done to each other all year long, and all of them are so highly ranked. Whew, boy, that starts on Wednesday, and I am quite excited to pay attention and watch those games next week. And then this last one, I'll be honest with you, I had UConn first. I had UConn moneyline at Villanova. Started doing a little bit more digging into recent games, and Villanova has been rolling in their recent games. Their last loss, I think, was to Providence like 5 games ago in a Big East conference that's fairly talented. UConn's a good team. They really haven't had bad losses, using that same metric. But to be in a home game, senior night, Villanova, money line. Those are my 3 picks. We're looking after Saturday to be 23-26. I will end up putting some picks together for Sunday. I might take a look at getting down here for a little video for Sunday. but I might not also. And either way, I'll update you on Monday with what those picks were. I'll do my best to tweet them out prior to Sunday so that there's a source of truth for the sake of keeping tabs and me not cheating, even though I don't think you guys would guess that I would be, but that way you can't say he cheated if I tweeted out before the game happened. Nonetheless, that's what we're looking at. Parenting, nothing today. You're great. Be a great parent. And thanks for hanging out. I always say there's going to be quick little videos and then they end up being at least 10 minutes long, but it's because I enjoy doing it and like listening to myself talk. Is that why I do it? I don't know. I hope you guys like it. I hope that's why you're here. And have a freaking good weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday at the latest. See ya.